Hello friends, Namaste, very good evening. This is the very next day after Diwali. So Diwali continues today also. Some part of the Diwali is there. Yesterday was Lakshmi Pujan. See, this video I'm doing on what you call perspectives. Perspectives means the way we look at things. Each person has a way of looking at things. Not necessarily all people look at the same thing in the same way. Our perceptions could be different. Different person may perceive differently. This has also a positive implication in a sense that, let's say in a corporate world, or let's say in a life situation, each person has a way of looking at the problem in a different way. So he can offer a different solution. Each person, the way he perceives that problem, he can offer a solution. So we can look into all possible solutions and adopt the best solution possible. So this perspective thing helps in problem solving. This is one aspect. Problem solving. Interdepartmental differences between two individuals, differences between two philosophies. See, because of philosophies, people at loggerheads. So these philosophies can be discussed. People can bring their own perspective, the way they can look at the way they look at that thing, their perspective. There is no need to fight. And the inter-religious discussions and the inter-religious debates. Because you see, religions, some religions are at loggerheads. They have different philosophies. They look at life differently. They look at creation differently. They look at God differently. Every religion has got a different God, different way of looking at God. And then the political parties. See, it is the same country, the same world, same country, but different political parties are serving to the people with the different philosophy. Each has got their, they say, see, there is a difference between us at a, what they call at a philosophic level. Siddhant ka bhed hai, like that, you know. So this particular topic, which I am saying perspective, I will do this in Hindi later on. The word in Hindi is very beautiful, called drashtikon. Drashtikon means we are looking at that with our own angle. Right? But I want to do this through a presentation. So this is, you know, I do things in different ways. It is a state-to-state talk. Sometimes it's a direct continuous talk, or sometimes it is a presentation driven, so that it is structured on that particular topic, so that we are not deviated. Right? So let us start through the presentation. Let us look at that topic through the presentation. See, this is a very popular phrase when it comes to perspectives. We say glass half full or half empty. You know, there is this popular phrase, this is being used world over. You know, they use this phrase for your and my worldview. What is your worldview and what is my worldview? See, the glass is half full and half empty. This is a reality. See, the glass is half empty and half full. That is a reality. But how we all are looking at that reality is our perspective. Is the way we are looking at that thing, that problem, that situation. Your drashtikon and my drashtikon. My viewpoint, your viewpoint. My worldview and your worldview. Your perspective and my perspective. So if the glass is half full and half empty, What is your perspective? Can it be different? Let's say the glass is half full and half empty. We all know it's a reality, but it is half full and half empty. Can this be the perspective of everybody? Let us see. I don't think so. This is my insight into doing this presentation. But after seeing this, you will realize that everyone's perspective is different. Everyone's perspective is not same. So let us see, what is your perspective? Let's say when it comes to glass half full and half empty, and what perspective will do? A perspective can change the way we look at life. This is how it is helpful. A perspective can help us to see at life in the way we should see, or in the way we are seeing it. Okay, it can change our view towards life. So it can be a turning point, it can be a triggering point. Now this is the situation. This situation is common for everybody. We are all looking at that situation. So that is a reality. But how we all are looking at that reality, right? So let us see, half empty. This is one perspective, and it is true to that situation. It is half full. Even this is also true. Is it not? To that situation. What is the situation? What is the reality here? The reality here is the glass is exactly half full and half empty. And both these perspectives are right. That the glass is half empty. This perspective is also true. And the glass is half full. This perspective is also true. But is that the end point? And what does that actually mean then for us when it comes to life, when it comes to life situations? Let us further go. So I said perspective can change the way we look at things. Let us see. Who knows? It can be a turning point. It can be a triggering point. So let us see, are there any other perspectives apart from these two? That is glass half full and half empty. Half full is one perspective. Half empty is another perspective. Are these only two, or are there any other perspectives? See, the glass is half full. This is one perspective. The glass is half empty. This is another perspective. The glass is half full and half empty at the same time. You see the quantum duality, both at the same time. When we peep into the quantum science, quantum physics, quantum mechanics, there is another reality pervading there, my dear friends. What we call in that thought experiment, the cat is dead and alive at the same time. All possible states. So the glass is half full and half empty is also true at the same time for that situation. So we saw a third perspective. And the third perspective is also true as far as that truth is concerned, that reality is concerned, that situation is concerned. So half full is also true, one sentence. Half empty is also true, another sentence. Half full and half empty at the same time, this is also true. Let us go further. The glass is not full. Means there is a scope. The glass is still not yet full. This is also one perspective. Right? So see, the situation was one, but we have arrived at 4 different perspectives for the same situation, for the same truth. The truth here is the glass, which is half full and half empty. Now, the glass is not empty. This is another perspective. See, the 5th perspective is glass is not yet empty. It can still be emptied completely. It can still be filled completely. Fine. So 5 perspectives. See, one situation, 5 perspectives. And all of them are true. Grammatically, none of the sentence is wrong. Grammatically or reality-wise. The glass is neither full nor empty. You see, the glass is neither full nor empty. Even this perspective is also true. Now let us see further. Is there any other perspective possible? Finally, there is another perspective. The glass can either be full or empty. The glass can be either full or empty. This is another perspective. Perspective 7, situation is one, problem is one, but there could be 7 solutions. There can be many solutions. There can be a good solution. There can be a bad solution. There can be a better solution. There can be a best solution. Problem is one. So when we, that's why discussion, that's why collaboration. That's why no linear, that's why multilateral thinking. That's why multidimensional environment. No unilateral decision. पहले क्या होता था? What used to happen? Monarchy, dictatorship. Now we are in democracy. Democracy, various viewpoints. Sometimes it can be a weakness for a democracy. But then you compare with dictatorship, you compare with anarchy, you compare with monarchy. So democracy, distributed leadership, not a centralized leadership. So discussion, debate, conversation, one-on-one discussion, multilateral discussion, debates. This is the power of democracy, right? So this is the power of this looking into perspectives, going into perspectives, respecting the other person's perspective. We simply, come to a conclusion and maybe it can result into a scuffle or a fight. We say, I don't accept your perspective. I don't accept what you are saying. Only my perspective is right. This will result into fights. This will result into wars. This will result into conflicts. But we have to create a cosmos out of chaos. The whole thing out there is a cosmos. So there is a symphony, there is a harmony. In the same way, in societies also, within different nations also, within different philosophies also, within different religions also, there should be a kind of standard. There should be a kind of common point. Software, what we are doing in software, are we not bringing standards? Are we not bringing in supply chain standards? Are we not bringing standards in many things when it comes to corporate culture, when it comes to products, when it comes to solutions? So what is the common ground when it comes to religions? What is the common ground when it comes to many political parties? What is the common ground when it comes to various philosophies? What is the common ground when it comes to God, divinity, and all that stuff? Many gods, one God, no God. All these are there. No, somebody says I'm a believer. Some says I'm not a believer. Somebody says I'm an atheist. Some says he's a theist. He's a believer. He's an atheist. They pray murti. They do murti puja. We don't do murti puja. And in today's the earlier video, what happened? What Kabirji was saying. Peer mare hai, Paigambar mare hai, 33 koti dev mare hai. He was not saying that. So perspectives, the way we look at things, the way we look at problems, the way we look at situations, and this is very helpful in corporates. This is very helpful in political field. This is very helpful in business field. This is very helpful among friendship, among a common ground, among various religions, to live peacefully in an ecosystem, to coexist together as friends, as well-wishers. You keep your perspective at your level, no problem. Your God, my God, my God. Your religion, my religion, your religion. Why there is a need to fight? You go to mandir, you go to mosque, you go to gurudwara, you go to church, whatever. The way you prey, is your prey. It is your individual belief system. Let us have perspectives. Let us have a common ground so that we can talk, we can converse. Fine. So what is finally coming? The seventh one, the glass can be either full or empty. So these are 7 perspectives for the same problem. Now, how these different perspectives can help us is the question. No, otherwise, why there is a need to discuss this? Somebody says, this is very simple. What is the point? What is the new thing that you are bringing? And let me tell you, I am not bringing any new thing. I'm not taking any credit. Let me give you a reference to this. There was one gentleman. See, Mahavir, Bhagwan Mahavir, the Jaina philosophy, Jainism. That gentleman, the Bhagwan Mahavir used to call his philosophy the philosophy of 7 standpoints, 7-fold philosophy. And the name was Satavada or Sadavada. 7-fold, 7 standpoints. So he used to say there are at least 7 perspectives to everything. So we should go into all perspectives so that we can look into reality as it is. Buddha was also saying, suchness, tathata. Suchness means to look at the reality as it is. How will you look at reality as it is unless we go into all perspectives? Here, though, every person is going with his own perspective. For him, his perspective is a reality. Then what about the existential reality? That is the point. So the glass can be either full or empty. This is a new possibility depending on an individual's need. To me, this is very important. Let us see further why this is very important to me. The glass can be either full or empty. This is a new possibility depending on an individual's need. Let us see further. For me, this is very important. You see, in glass half full, half empty, our oldest, the very common perspective is what? This guy says, see this guy, how he looks at the problem. He says when the situation is given to him, the glass is half full and half empty. This person says the glass is half empty. Or this person is very negative. See how he's looking at the problem. He's saying the glass is half empty. See, this is a common corporate, trick to hit at you. If the person says the glass is half full, or see this person is very positive, yeah. See the way he's looking at things. He's saying the glass is half full. He's positive. He's not negative. And this guy who is saying the glass is half empty, he looks at, or see the way he looks at the problems. He's a negative guy, yeah. What is negative, positive in this? Reality is reality. Reality is neither negative nor positive. Reality is transcendental. You are neither leftist nor rightist. See, you are being pushed to this corner or that corner by the media. They are dividing you. They are dividing your soul. They are polarizing you. They are polarizing your consciousness. And you are stupid. You are moving this side. You are moving that side. They are pushing, and you are getting pushed to the corner. You don't have your own say. What is leftist, rightist in this? What is Hindu, non-Hindu in this? What is Christian, Hindu, Sikh in this? In existential reality. Existential reality is existential. It is neither yours nor mine. It is neither my father's nor your father's. Everybody's father or mother, whatever you call, and there is no gender. That Brahman, Ekonkar Satna, it is behind everything. That is the reality. That Brahman. Right? Beyond all genders, beyond all attributes. What is positive, negative in this? So now this last one was The glass can either be full or empty. This is a new possibility depending on an individual's need. This is very important to me. Why? If I am full, then there is no possibility of a growth. Yesterday we spoke. Oh, sorry, today only we spoke. These diyas, they will come and go. Patakas will come and go. We talked about big dream. Kabir said, what is that big dream? That infinite one is the big dream. So if I am full, then there is no possibility of a growth. I come to a dead end. If I am full, then I have come across a dead end. Right? How will I grow then? I am already full. But on the other hand, if I am empty, then there is an immense possibility of a growth. But emptiness we take in a negative manner. The moment somebody says empty, see, the mind, mind is always filled, occupied with all that, this and that, continuously occupied. And that is the reason why we are tense. It never becomes silent. It is like a monkey mind. It is jumping from one tree to the other tree. It is jumping from one branch to the other branch. It is jumping from one fruit to the other fruit. It is jumping from one desire to the other desire continuously. And in YouTube, everybody is feeding you his own content. Sometimes political content, sometimes spiritual content, sometimes some masala, sometimes drugs, sometimes Bollywood, sometimes Bollywood. You are getting drifted. You are only consuming content, and you don't have a time to think. If you don't have a time to think, and if you really only go by, let us say, if you don't have a time to think, and if we all just go by whatever that is being fed to us. See, all algorithms are looking at your behavior, your digital behavior. The masters have put all programs there. So they are driving you, they are driving our mind, they are feeding what they want to feed. And then we are continuously consuming that content. Only consuming the content. No time to think. What is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is real, what is unreal. The moment the glass is becoming little empty, they are filling up with that glass with some content which they want to feed. So we are continuously getting fed with different contents. And we are lost. We are totally lost. Fine. So on the other hand, if I am empty, then there is an immense possibility of a growth. So there is no need to worry about what you call this emptiness. Emptiness means I have a scope for growth. It means that. I'll tell you a small story. This was, this was of King Akbar and his brilliant Birbal. His right hand. So Chatur Birbal and Akbar. The story, I'm not going into in that very depth. The situation was Some other king has told Akbar, see, now you are in praise. Somebody said, see, now your kingdom has become like the sun. Okay, I mean the full moon. Now it will collapse. Now it will come down. Now it will doom. So all that ascending thing has happened. Now it will go towards the descending side. Birbal said, and Akbar got wild, he got angry with this kind of description. So Birbal, you know that he was very chatur, he was very brilliant, he was intelligent. He said, no, what we call that starting of the moon, after the full moon when it starts. So he said to Akbar, you should not feel bad about it. You should say, no, it is first day after the full moon. I have a lot of scope. I have just started. My kingdom has started flourishing just now. The very first day after the full moon. Now I have got a lot of scope till the full moon. It is like that. So there is no need to feel bad about the word called empty. Scientists are saying, no, everything has come from emptiness. And everything then it is emerged from emptiness. Everything will then go into emptiness. So there is no need to feel bad about it. You should think that it is positive and there is immense scope for growth. Yes, you say, yes, my head is empty. There is nothing in this. But I have a lot of space to store. I have a lot of space to grow. The seeds can grow. I can sow the seeds. So the tree will grow. It will blossom into flowers. So because there is a scope. So my glass is always empty. You say, you don't worry about my glass. Yes, I'm stupid. My glass is always empty. I'm ready because it is ready to take whatever that is good for growth. Your tree needs no nourishment. We all need nourishment for growth, no? So that growth. So I'm saying, on the other hand, if I'm empty, then there is an immense possibility of a growth. Is perception a reality? Every perception is relative to the one who is perceiving things. For that person, it may appear that his perception is a reality. But in reality, it is a perception. It's not a reality. Every observation is relative to the observer. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. There is another theory of mind, C is equal to EM square. Albert Einstein's theory is E is equal to MC square. That is objective relativity. I will share my perspective. Theory of consciousness. C is equal to EM square. So it is another subjectivity. We'll discuss about that later. Okay. So the one who is perceiving and the perception are not two different things. The observer and the observed are not two different things. So observer is the observed. Jiddu Krishnamurti said long back, no? So the one who is perceiving and the perception are not two different things. The observer and the observed are not two different things. Why? We discussed in the morning's session. The drishta, the witness, will eventually become the witnessed, the srashta, the creator, the reality, the ultimate reality, the Brahman. He will dissolve into the Brahman. Only that non-dual reality will prevail. Hence, the observer is the observed. But initially, the observer is seeing himself as different from the observed, or he is seeing into a different perception, a different reality. And that's where this in Hinduism, in Hindu philosophy, that Maya thing, no? Maya is like that collapse of a wave function. Maya is immediately the reality becomes a perception because of the mind. Because the mind behaves like a prism. So when that single ray of light passes through the prism, we have learned in our childhood classes in science that it will become the 7 bands, Vipra, violet at the top and red at the bottom. The same white light, when it passes through the prism, what will happen? You will see 7 bands. So you will see 7 different colors. You will see 7 different perspectives, whereas the reality is one, whereas the ray of light is one. It is a white light only. But when the white light passes through that prism, we are seeing a different reality. The perception is different. We are seeing 7 different realities there, 7 different colors. The mind is perceiving that way. But when we peep into it, when we go into the depth, we know that the ray of light is one. It was white, but then somehow the prism made the reality in such a way, it created 7 different perceptions. Sadhavada, Bhagwan Mahavir's philosophy of 7 standpoints. So 7 perspectives. Glass is half full, half empty. This is very old. Don't fall into this trap. This is going on for ages now. We have forgotten our great ones, our great philosophies. We have forgotten Upanishads. We have not even looked at them. We are looking at these diyas, patakas. Okay, pataka has another different meaning, so I don't want to take that kind of meaning there. Okay. The observer drashta meets the observed, that is the srashta, the creator. Drashtant, I said, darshan. Drashtant is the end of the seer, the end of the witness. Otherwise, this witness will go mad. Otherwise, there is no end. Why are we then asking about God? Is God there or not there? Why this thirst? Thirst is there or not? I don't know. The thirst has to be there. Unyielding, unquenching thirst. But one day it'll. Yeah. Why are we drinking water? Because there is a thirst. Why are we eating food? Because there is a hunger. And when we eat food, the hunger will be quenched, satiated. And when we drink water, the thirst will be quenched. In the same way, if there is a spiritual thirst, there is that point that it will get fulfilled. Don't think it will not get fulfilled. So the drashtant, it will end there. Okay? The observer becomes the observed. The observer, drashta, meets the observed, srashta. This gives the experience of oneness, unity, union. In yoga, why are we saying yoga? Yoga means union. It was already a union from the very beginning. There was no division, but the mind was behaving like that. Mind was creating perceptions. Like the prism, like that vibgor, like that, those 7 colors. So it was creating that illusion. Illusion, Maya, right? So perception is a viewpoint. So we don't have to be very hard. We have to say, okay, bhaiya, this is my perception. This is how I look at reality. You don't have to get angry. You please go with your perception. You please go with your perception as a reality. Let me go with my perception as a reality. We can discuss viewpoints. There's no need to fight. There is no need to have wars. You know that what? 5,000 years of history. We have fought more than 5,000 wars. Mahabharata, First World War, Second World War, and the Third World War. We may be approaching towards Third World War. Albert Einstein was once asked. He was asked, what weapons will be used in the Third World War? Said, sir, what weapons will be used in the Third World War? He said, I really don't know what weapons will be used in the Third World War, but I can tell you very confidently what weapons will be used in the Fourth World War, he said. And the answer he gave was stones and spears, he said. Do you know what does that mean? If, let us say, Third World War happens tomorrow, then everything will end. So there is no question of what you call weapons. We will again start from the very beginning with stones and spears. Can you get his point? See the deepness, see the depth of that man. That's why Albert Einstein was that giant. Look at this, look at his way of looking into the future. So perception, we don't have to be very, what I say, very rigid on our standpoints, very rigid on our viewpoints, very rigid on our perceptions. We should not conclude that this is a reality. But this is my God. Beyond this, there is no God. This is the only God. Only one God, or 33 crore gods, whatever. 2 gods, many gods. Monotheism, polytheism. Fine. So it can be an opinion. You humbly say, this is my opinion. So perception is not a reality. Perception is a viewpoint. It can be an opinion. So we should be humble this way, that my perception is not a reality. My perception is just a viewpoint. It is just this way that I'm looking at things. It is my opinion. So don't get me wrong, please. And don't be rigid. Okay? It is not being diplomatic. It is being very humble. It is being going with your way of looking at things. Put your point clearly. So the truth or reality is neither. Now this is coming to from the Upanishadic point of view. So the truth or reality, when I'm saying truth or reality here, this I mean the existential reality, that absolute reality, that Brahman. Okay. Now the truth or reality is neither singular or plural. We are talking about singularity, plurality. There is another thing, singularity. This will then become big. I will talk about that later. There is something called technological singularity, physical singularity, and then spiritual singularity. I'll talk about that aspect later. Okay. So this truth, this reality, this absolute reality, this existential reality is neither singular or plural. It is non-dual. Okay. That is Advait only. See, they say one God, many gods. The question of one God, many God does not arise. Brahman means it is non-dual. There is nothing beyond that. It is not one in a sense. It is non. When I say it is non-dual, means all duality disappears there. Only that is there. All is that. That means non-dual. Advait means all is that. The dewdrop has disappeared into the ocean, and what is left is only the ocean. Kabir is saying in one of the dohas, I started my journey as a dewdrop. I started my journey as a drop, and then I moved towards the ocean. Look what happened. This dewdrop slipped into the ocean and became the ocean. The drop is no more. That identity is no more. Only the non-dual is. So that is what our Upanishads are saying, right? So it is not numeric, it is nirvanic. Buddha said it is nirvana. He gave a different name. He gave a different name means it is not that it is some new name that he invented. No, nirvana word is there in the Bhagavad Gita also. Krishna is saying Mahanirvan. So don't go into this debate. Who said first? Who said blah? All that stuff, right? Like I took the reference of Bhagwan Mahavir when it comes to Satvada, the sevenfold theory. Here also I'm saying that it is not that Nirvana is Buddha's discovery of word. When it comes to word, no, the reality is there from the very beginning. No, the same reality. All Upanishads, all Upanishadic sages are talking about the same one reality, singular, that non-dual, that transcendental reality. So the word Krishna used in Bhagavad Gita is Mahanirvan. The same word, a similar word, Nirvan, Buddha is using it here. So there is no conflict. There's no debate. So it is beyond thought and time. Guru Nanak, we were talking about. So he was saying, Chintan uski karo. Think of that which has not happened. Means it is already there, it is unborn, it was never born. So big dream, think of that which has not happened. I'm not very good at Punjabi, so I'm not taking that Punjabi sentence. I was seeing and talking, so speaking. But what he was saying, what he said in essence was, think of that, chintan uska karo, think of that which has not happened, which has not born. It was already there, uncausal, nothing has caused it, everything is caused by it. So it is transcendental, it is beyond space and time. So this is very beautiful. This is where Rig Veda proclaims. What Rig Veda is saying, this phrase of Rig Veda is very, very prominent. It is used by many. It is many people talk about this phrase. Ekam sat Vipra Bahudha Vadanti. The truth is one. Truth means the existential, the ultimate reality. Upanishads are not talking about God. Upanishads are talking about truth. They're talking about Sat. They are not interested in God. And when you reach there, probably you will not ask for God. Right? Okay. This God thing, the middlemen have created, the brokers have created. Okay? So don't fall prey to brokers. But the sages or enlightened ones call it by many names or describe it in many ways. While describing, they describe it in plural ways. Means, see, one Upanishad is saying, Aham Brahmasmi. Another Upanishad is saying, Tam Soma Jyotirgamaya. It is one thing only, but different way of saying it. In another Upanishad, it is saying, you are that Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. Right? You are that Shvetaketu. Is one Upanishad is saying like that. So the Rig Veda is saying, Ekam sat Vipra Bahudha Vadanti, which means the truth is one, the Sat is one, but the sages or enlightened ones call it by many names or describe it in many ways. Now that is the perspective. That is the topic on perspectives. Very beautiful topic, right? So what it is telling us, what it is giving us, it is giving us a new way of looking at things. No rigidity, compassion, empathy, respect for the way the other person is looking at reality. You don't have to get angry. Let him go with one, let him go with one God. Let him go with many gods. Let him go with no God. Why are you bothered? What we are doing, my way or highway. My way and not your way. This is what we are doing, and this will result into my way but not your way will result into conflicts. This will result into scuffles. not a right way. So perspectives, that is it. I will make an end to this discussion. We'll again discuss on some other topic. But yes, I will do this again on Hindi. I've started doing it on Hindi, right? Because our national language is Hindi. We should be proud of. And the reach, it'll reach to many people in India. So thank you so much for listening on this topic called perspectives. Let us have our own perspectives. Let us be friends. Let us not be enemies. Let us have discussion. Let us have conversation. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. I will do again some other topic. I will cover on some other topic. Thank you. I think it is now good night. So I will say good night because today's presentation is over.